Yep. Yes. Hello. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I know y'all see the title. I know you see the title. I know you see the title. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I know y'all see it. I know you see it. I know you see it. I know you do. And I'm going to make you feel it today.
Yeah. In time. We ain't playing at all. He that dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. The Jews were lost. Due to laws, Jerusalem's ours. I got a truer cause. I can't quit it, I'm too involved. His hands up, cops still drew his arm. Don't do it, Sarge. Let off 50 shots, say you was scared, they won't give you a charge. Let NASA tell it, those ain't chariots, they shooting stars. NASA in Hebrew means deceiver. We don't believe you. I don't believe you walked on the moon or you flew to Mars. The firmament is permanent, it don't move at all. I can prove it all. Scriptures loaded, I shoot them off. No way you can dodge. Just ignore me, you cool as frost. When you stand before that white throne, you'll see who's in charge, repent. You on the highway to hell and that Uber costs. I write these little raps and post them, but I got newer songs. I ain't drop them, but I promise they my truest bars. 7 trumpets gon' be a coup de grace. I'm a Bruce, so if I do it, I'ma do it large. Wherewithal shall a man cleanse his way by doing what the scriptures say. Incline your ear to the laws and never disobey. Last time we did that, we got shipped away. Christ is coming any day and he ain't finna play. The sinners of his people gon' die by the sword. That's in Amos 9, Hebrew state of mind. Eyes on the sinful kingdom, they twisting up Paul's epistles. Cross me, I'ma forgive you. Pray you repent for the Father get you. In the day of wrath, you think money gon' solve your issue? It's gon' burn with fervent heat, Aki, that's toilet tissue. That same fire gon' purify us. You worth more than silver, they put iron yokes on our necks and said we were only niggas. They told us that we were only thugs. I beg to differ, you got royal blood, biblical Jews. They won't tell us, but they know it's us. They try to drug us up, but we sobered up, ain't no controlling us. Sober minds, they had us blindfold. Eyes closed, now we got open eyes. I just want my folk to rise. I pray that the fam listen. Wake up the lost sheep, that's my ambition. Read Luke chapter 21 and pay attention. Knowing if they fall for anything, then I can't stand with them. If you listen, seek repentance. Being famous ain't my intention. Yeah. Kahalai Shabala Kamwa Bana Matawa. Yeah. In times. Wherewithal shall a man cleanse his way by doing what the scriptures say. Wow.
Time to get up and get ready, for the hottest morning show in the ATL. It's the Wake, Bake, and Coffee Morning Show, live with Georgia First Black Governor. Ladies and gentlemen, I bring to you the most interactive radio show live. We bringing the hottest news, the illest independent artists, and a whole lot of love, baby. Okay. Get up, roll up, sit back, and ride to the WakeBake and Coffee Morning Show with your host, Georgia's First Black Governor. Yes. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the Messy Mondays here on the WakeBake and Coffee Show. And today, we're going to get real messy. Good morning, Miss Long. Good morning, Miss Erica. Good morning, Jay. Yeah. Listen, I ain't trying to run people away, but I might lose some friends today. And it's okay. I don't have a problem with that. Good morning, Stevie Steve. Welcome to the WakeBake and Coffee Morning Show. Make sure y'all like, and share. Hit that like button. Hit that share button. Good morning, Periscope. Good morning, YouTube. Good morning, Facebook. How's everybody doing this morning? We live this morning. I'm sorry the camera's a little crooked. It'll be fixed tomorrow. But we're going to get into it this morning. Yes. We getting into it this morning. Stevie Steve is everywhere. Facebook, YouTube, Periscope. Good morning, Periscope people. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure y'all share. Because some people going to get mad today. It's Black History Month, as they say. So we going to jump into it. I'm going to start off and just be 100 with you. My wife sent me something today from a great pastor in the UK. God bless his soul. And it made a lot of sense. And it talked about fear. Not even fear. It more so talked about how people are living. A lot of us fail to get into the future because we live in the past. A lot of us fail to live in the future. A lot of us fail getting to the future. Good morning, Poetic. A lot of us fail getting to the future because we live in the past. And it was a scripture that he brought up, which was Revelation 13:8. Matter of fact, I don't want to misquote the Bible, so let me pull it up. Because I don't want to misquote it. And it talks about us dwelling in the past. Revelation 18:3 said, "For all nations have drunk the wine, wrath of fornication." No, I think it was 13:3. Might have been 13:8. But it says to the effect, good morning, Miss Margot, that God already died for our sins. God has already thought about your future. Since Adam fell, that was the past. Jesus came to give you a brighter future. And because we stay in our past, we recycle our past. We keep reliving it. Because we had bad relationships, we tend to dwell on the bad relationships, which causes us to have more bad relationships. Good morning, Miss Terry. The number one thing God says is when you come to Christ and you ask for forgiveness, he forgets everything you did in your past. So if God forgets your past, why do y'all keep reliving your past? If God says, I forgive you of your past, and once I forgive you of your past, I don't remember it no more, why do we still relive the past? Why do we stay focused on what happened as opposed of focusing on what could happen? Why stay focused on bad relationships? Why stay focused on your divorce? Why stay focused on who mistreated you? Because now you can't even focus on having a better relationship, having people in your life who do treat you right, because you're too busy living your past. I think about Black History Month. We always, for February, talk about our past. But we never talk about our future as a people. We stay stuck in the past. We stay stuck in something that most of us have never lived or will ever live through. The past is killing us. Staying stuck in the past kills us. It straight kills your future. When God has a better future for you, when God has something better for you, when God wants to elevate you, you can't go because you stuck in the what happened. We fear the unknown. We become comfortable in what we know, and we refuse to learn or to grow or to grasp anything else. We stay in the past. What have we truly learned from Black History Month that has elevated us to something better? What did you learn to make you better? Those that were successful stay stuck in their glory days, but they don't try to become more successful than what they were. We are only motivated to push the old narrative as opposed of creating new ones. Just as Gayle King, she stayed stuck in Kobe's past. She didn't highlight what he was building now for the future. She wanted to go back and just highlight the past. The same thing with Oprah. The way she attacked Michael Jackson's mother, the way she attacked Lisa Marie Presley about Michael's past. But none of these people spoke to the people that they had an issue with their past. And then they waited till they died. No, she wasn't set up. Gayle King has enough pull to where she can ask her own questions. She didn't even have to bring up Kobe's past. Because she never brought up the past of her best friend. The one who the Me Too movement started behind. No, she was not set up. She didn't even have to ask that question. They asked John Sally the same question on The Talk or The Real, whatever they call it. And if God is forgiving you of your past, if accepting Jesus Christ means that you have been freed from your past, why relive it? Why keep discussing the past? Why do we have Black History Month? History was yesterday. 5 minutes ago was history. We keep reliving and keep telling our children we were slaves. Good morning, Miss Whitney. We never tell them the greatness. We always tell them the ugliness. In return, because we keep living the past, they feel they have to keep doing what they're doing in the present into their future, and it sabotages their future. You are never defined by your past, especially if you've been forgiven for your past. So if you've been forgiven, if God has forgot about your past, if he says, I remember no more, why are we bringing up the past? Why is it okay for you to bring up the past of someone who can't even defend themselves? And everybody got on Gayle, but nobody got on Oprah. Oprah drilled Michael's mother and his ex-wife to the point where she tried to force them to admit that Michael was a child molester. And now, here comes her buddy. Good morning, Miss Tyson. Now here comes her buddy, bringing up the past of Kobe Bryant. Good morning, Miss April. How long are we going to continue to live in the past? if I dwelled on the past of my ex-wife, how will I be able to embrace the future of the wife that God has given me? How can I ever embrace where God wants to take me if I keep living in what he brought me out of? If I keep dwelling on where I was, what I used to do, where I used to be. How do you progress if you keep dwelling on the past? It should be Black History every day. But what are you learning to move forward? What have you learned in order to move forward? Nothing. Because the same thing that was said 50 years ago is the same thing is said that are being said now. So I'm confused as to why we still live in our past. If God said I forgot, why aren't you forgetting? But if God said that I forgot your past, why would you remember your past? You can create a future from scratch. Now I give you this point, Stevie Steve. Stevie Steve said you remember the past to create the future. But a lot of people get stuck in the past, Stevie Steve. You know, my dad used to say to do the same thing over and over again, thinking you're going to get a different result, makes you an idiot. The thing is, Stevie Steve, not what you remembered of your past, but what did you learn so you can change, so you can have a better future. What did I learn from the past mistake so I don't repeat that mistake? But if I stay in the past, I'm going to constantly repeat the past because that's where my mind is. Oh, this person didn't like me. Oh, this person did me wrong. Oh, this person did that. If I'm constantly there, then that's what I'm going to constantly be looking for because I'm constantly being reminded of the past. And if I'm stuck in the past, how can I elevate to the future? How? How is that possible? How can I move forward if I'm always thinking about what happened? Like I said, how can I embrace a beautiful marriage if I'm always stuck on the divorce? If I'm stuck on being played, if I'm stuck on being hurt, if I'm stuck on what people said about me, if I'm stuck on how I was treated, how can I ever move forward if I'm stuck in the past? how will I ever be able to embrace 5 minutes from now if I'm stuck on what happened 5 minutes ago? Prime example. I lost my transit card. I still had $56 on my transit card. The old me, if I was still stuck in the past, the old me would have screamed, yell, holler, start cursing, start screaming, "Good morning, Mama Quita." The old me will have spazzed out. And because I lost my transit card and I knew that I had almost $60 on the transit card, them old feelings started to arise on the inside. But I refuse to let the old me come into the present, so now I will kill my future. When I already knew I had another solution on how to deal with the fact that I lost my transit card. I didn't worry about me losing. I looked forward to figure out how I was going to gain. I worried about the future and not the past. Because if I was still stuck in the past, I probably would have broke my phone. I would have raised hell. My pressure would have went up. I could have passed out. I'd have probably got people around me upset. But I didn't think about that. I thought about, okay, I lost the card. It is what it is. Thank God I lost the card. Thank God that I'm in a position to get another one. Thank God that I can pay for it Friday, as opposed of worrying about it and getting all of my emotions. And it's crazy that my wife sent me what she sent me this morning, because this weekend I wrote out a commercial about the same thing. God gave me a commercial about the same thing. How people still view you from your past, and that as far as they can see you, because they haven't grown up themselves. So I refuse to stay stuck in the past. Because as long as I stay stuck in the past, I will never be able to create the future that God gave me. There are people still dressing from the 70s. We can't change everyone's perspective of life. I'm not here to change nobody's perspective. And I agree with you, Stevie Steve. I'm just here to drop a dime. My job is to plant seeds. I let God do the watering. That's my job. My job is just to plant a seed, and I let God do the rest. But I can't keep my mindset in the 80s. I can't keep a 70s mindset thinking that I'm going to survive in 2020.
My mindset is on 2025, 2030. What I'm doing today is preparing myself for 2020. What I'm doing today in 2020 is preparing myself for 2025. What I'm doing today is preparing myself for 2030. I'm looking towards the road, down the road. I done forgot all about what happened once then. And as I learned from a pastor yesterday, he said, how you know you've grown is there used to be a time a name would be mentioned and you would cringe. Ugh. Now when that same name is mentioned, and you like, whatever. Because if I keep reliving the past, if I keep thinking about what happened, the coulda, shoulda, woulda, then it'd be hard for me to say I'm planning for 2020, my plans for 2020, 2025, 2030, 2035. If I stay stuck in 1990, if I stay stuck in 1988, if I stay stuck on what they told me in 93, 98, 2000, if I stay stuck what happened or what was said 20 years ago, I would never be able to be here today, Stevie Steve. If I stayed stuck in what they said about me, Big Juice, if I stayed stuck in that, Stevie Steve, I wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be having this conversation. There would be no Wake, Bake, and Coffee morning show. So just as God is forgiving you, you have to forgive yourself and forgive those that have hurt you. And God said when you accept Jesus as your Lord and Savior, when you become saved, not only do he forgive you of your sins, but he throw your sins in the sea of forgetfulness and remember them no more. So if God doesn't remember, if God forgets your past, why do we still hold on to it? Why? Let it go. In order for you to grow, you have to let it go. So to the First Lady, I thank you for that video. I thank God for using you to send me that video so I can share this same feeling and share this same message with the Wake, Bake, and Coffee morning show. So we're going to take us a break. When we come back, I got my man Beastly Gamely. I finally got it up. And there's a big movement called Walk Away. Stevie Steve, I might have to be like Stevie Steve, because Stevie Steve is on Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope all at the same time. I'm going to have to figure out how he do that. Stevie Steve, you're going to put me onto your little secret, because I have a hard time just juggling the comments, looking at them. Right. And I have a place where all the comments come at one time. It's just when you post in YouTube, it takes a second to pop up from what I see. Same thing in Facebook. So, but I thank y'all for tuning in, rocking out with me, and we going to get into this Gayle King and Oprah situation. Because y'all banned from Atlanta. Right. Y'all have been banned from the ATL. Right. Now he laughing out loud on Periscope. Y'all banned from Atlanta. And that's from the governor. Y'all banned. Until y'all get some act right, y'all banned. And I'm going to play a clip that was also sent to me by the First Lady. It's a message for our people from a white guy about this Gayle King situation. And also, I'm going to play a clip about Oprah and how she tried to force Michael Jackson's mother and ex-wife to admit that he was a child molester, which I thought was crazy. And I need for y'all to understand that people put out things, and because y'all support them so much, y'all believe the rhetoric. So I'm here to debunk a lot of things this week, today and tomorrow. And then y'all can be back on the Valentine's Day love thing when Mama Quita shows up on Thursday.
We'll be back with more of the WakeBake and Coffee Morning Show, live with Georgia's first black governor.
Y'all know what time it is. Mama Quita.
Love series.
Y'all know what time it is. Mama Quita. Love series. Mama Quita. Y'all know what time it is.
YMCA.
Swim the Distance 100-Mile Swim Club is a member-only swim challenge that helps you push yourself to the limit in the water in 2020. This lap swimming challenge starts in January and ends December the 31st. Swim at your own pace with your own strokes for as many days as you need to reach 100 miles. Register for the challenge online. Be sure to ask a Y lifeguard the distance of your Y pool so you can keep track of your miles. Young
Family YMCA.
Yeah, here's the infamous Philadelphia. We'll be back with more of the WakeBake and Coffee Morning Show right after this.
We shall overcome.
freedom.
Oh, we shall overcome. Oh, we shall overcome.
Freedom.
Yes, sir. Oh, we shall overcome. Oh, we shall overcome. Every day we getting gunned down, and it's so profound. And we the main ones that are killing the major letdown. We used to play the back of the bus, we up front now. Now we play the back of the bus, cause it's cool now. Whatever happened to respecting what we fighting for? The right is wrong and what is right ain't even right no more. Your right hand, pump your fist in the air. Take $1 million to hold us back, but there's only one black there. Stand firm, and all black, you gon' fall for it. My people get killed, no cause for it. And then they wonder why we search for the truth, cause we realize that we been living a lie and it's affecting our youth. They snatch proof like they pulling a tooth and fill it in before we get to the roots. And they be striking a nerve, and they don't care how much they get on our nerves to learn the truth we just don't deserve. Really? Freedom! We shall overcome. Oh, we shall overcome. Freedom! Oh, we shall overcome. Oh, we shall overcome. Now the truth of the matter is the truth of the matter, and the less that you know keeps their pockets fatter. And it's all propaganda, the media leads sway. Price tag on black, so can we kill today? Black male take shells to the chest and face. He was killed by a black, that's a double play. And the media sees views getting paid today. Their kids go to college cause you paid the way. And no, I'm not a savior, but I'm saving the day. My people can't see the road, so I'm paving the way. I need more sunny days, can't deal with the gray, but you keeping them in the green with every dollar you pay. And it's a cesspool, I hate a dirty game we play. It's a lose-lose scenario, so many virus areas. Trying to find hope in God, but the church is a monetary. It's my democratic view from everything that's so political.
Black man, I'm your biggest fan. Slap me 5 on the black hand side, yeah. King me as you crown me, knowing I'm the result of your next move. Everybody plays the fool, but when do we stop? At this pace, we can't win this rat race. Cold, stricken, poverty-faced, yet my ditty box says I'm rich, a high flyer, El Capitan of the SS Black. And baby, this ship is going down. The system ain't meant to keep us afloat, yet somehow we stay afloat.
Freedom! Freedom! And we shall overcome. We shall overcome. Freedom! Yes, sir!
Yes, sir.
And we shall overcome.
Stevie Steve. We done overcame, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to 2020.
Welcome to 2020. I'm gonna change the words. We have overcame. We have overcame. If you don't see it, too bad. We have overcame. Who's your girlfriend, Big Juice? I don't know where she is. We have overcame. Right. I'm going to change the words. We have overcame. If you still decide to live in the craziness and believe the craziness, then I'm going to leave you right there. Now, Stevie Steve, you did say something. You said people still wear 70s clothes. Well, Stevie Steve, I still kind of buy my clothes where they, not necessarily baggy, but I need some comfort because I can't do the 2020 dressing. I can't wear the tight pants with all the holes in them. I can't. It's some things in 2020 I just can't get into. I can't. I'm sorry. Some things I refuse to wear. Yes, I'm not. I'm not gonna wear. I'm sorry. Yeah. You can hate me. I don't care. Some things I'm just not going to put on. And Stevie Steve, I saw this weekend that you was causing problems and trouble. Stevie Steve was causing problems and trouble this weekend, posting old gov videos, and some people took it to heart that the Falcons lost, Stevie Steve, and some people hated the fact that I told them how the election was gonna turn out. So Stevie Steve was just trying to get y'all feelings hurt this weekend. Steve was out here hurting people's feelings this weekend. Right. But I didn't do it. You know. That wasn't me. That was Steve. Steve was out here hurting people's feelings this weekend. Bringing up old stuff, Steve. That's what we talk about today. The past. See, you know, people still, they feelings, they still in their feelings. You know, they haven't learned to say I'm sorry and learn to forgive themselves. I'm learning to forgive myself. I'm sorry. I ain't gonna keep living in the past. I'm not. I got a great future ahead of me. And that's what I'm focused on, you know. And that's what I'm going to keep focusing on. And once I complete one thing, I have other things in the back, and we gonna do that. Steve stole your girl. Y'all know Steve, an old player from the Himalayas. Steve said, screw that. But he'll remember for next time. That's all right. You know, listen, Steve. Some people like living in the past. Some people like it. I just know, you know, that brings up an old, deep wound in the city of Atlanta, you know. But at least they can't say, I didn't tell you so. Well, Gov told you, you know. Steve was there. He was on the live. He was there when I got kicked off the other radio show for making such predictions. So, yeah. He was there. When I got booted off the other radio show for saying such things. So, hey, you know, it is what it is. Like I said, I'm looking down the road. I ain't worrying about what's going on behind me. So, it's Black History Month. It's Valentine's Day. It's Black History Month. It's President's Day. And, you know, I want to know if they're going to honor President's Day this year. Which is crazy. Any parents got kids out of school this year for President's Day? I don't remember ever being out of school for President's Day. I remember that was the day that we learned about all the presidents. Well, at least 4 of them. The current one and the 3 that started the country. So, I do remember those. Yeah. So President's Day is coming. Valentine's Day is coming. Fellas, don't forget it's a leap year. However, you know, as Mama Quita told y'all last week, how whatever works in your household, let it work. Okay? So even though I told y'all supposed to receive the gifts, still make sure you buy your wife a gift for Valentine's Day. Okay? Don't be stingy. Don't be stingy. Y'all had a half a day on President's Day. I only remember getting a half a day, Big Juice. I remember still going to school. New York getting Friday and Monday. So wait a minute. So they out for Valentine's Day too? It's going to be a lot of teen pregnancy. I'm sorry, Lord. Forgive me. Oh man, I ought to be ashamed of myself. I ought to be ashamed of myself. Um, wow, that's ugly. Oh man, that's ugly. Lord forgive me. I hope not. But hey, um, anybody heard of the pay it forward? Not the pay it forward. The way forward act. Our kids are out on both days too. Wow, that's crazy. Good morning, Mr. Claire. Good morning, Low Daddy. Good morning, Miss Teresa. What it do? What it do? What it do? Have anybody heard of the Way Forward Act? It's called the Way Forward Act. Ooh, what was that? What just happened then? Whew, that was loud. Anybody heard of the Way Forward Act? And you don't think it's just a cab? It might be for the whole state. I have to go check with the school. I got ooh. Somebody don't want me talking about the Way Forward Act. That was just the feds. It's okay. I'm not worrying about the feds. I don't worry about the feds. I don't worry about none of them. I got Jesus behind me. Well, I got Jesus in front of me. So I don't worry about them. I don't worry about the feds. I already laughed at the devil this morning for all the things that just happened back to back to back to back to back. So I'm sorry, Stevie Steve, that wasn't me. I don't know where that came from. So, so I don't worry about the feds. You know, I got I got God on my side. I got Jesus in front of me. He's leading the way. So I smile and laugh at these crazy things now. Right. I've learned. So you said Trump hair is being electrocuted to sticking up. That's what it sounds like. So, anybody heard of the Way Forward Act? And Low Daddy, you're in Virginia, correct? Maryland, Virginia area. This law will affect you a lot. If you're in certain parts of DeKalb County, Georgia, if you're in certain parts of the city of Atlanta, this will affect you. Also, if you live anywhere that is considered a sanctuary city, this will affect you. I don't think it's going to get passed. However, welcome back, Miss Erica. Georgia doesn't have sanctuary cities, even though Mayor Bottoms have declared Atlanta a welcome all city. Pretty much she's trying to make it a sanctuary city, but it's against the Georgia law to have a sanctuary city, so she calls it the welcome all city. I think DeKalb County is also. But if you live anywhere, and Stevie Steve, this will definitely affect where you live. California, Maryland. Y'all have a couple of cities there that are sanctuary. So pretty much The Way Forward Act is a new immigration act that they trying to pass. And what is happening is the way this is going is if you've been convicted of a heinous crime and you've been deported, you are now welcome back into America. Is to extend the catch and release. It is also where they are now considering what they consider to be minority areas. They want to move all of undocumented or illegal aliens, whatever you want to call them. They want to move them into metropolitan areas and minority areas. And if you have someone who has committed a crime, who is facing deportation, they are now placing judges in place where judges really don't have a say, or the law, immigration law itself doesn't have a say. Well, pretty much the judge has to let you go. So the only crime that they are willing to hold you under is murder. But child molestation, sexual assault, armed robbery, any other type of crimes, drug offenses, they are letting them go. And they have to be in a minority, what they consider a minority community. Good morning, Darnell. They have to be in a minority community so they have inclusiveness. And sex offenders, child molesters, under this law don't have to register to be sex offenders or child molesters. But they're going to move them into, and when they say minority, they're going to move them into the Black and Latino community. More bail reforms. Oh, no, they not. Oh, and there is no, they won't be even have to go to the bond hearing, Steve. That's like number 3 in the beginning of the bill. So they will automatically be granted bail. And because they are considered undocumented or they are considered illegal, they already know they don't have money or they don't have a job, so they will be granted bail on R&R. But if your little brother, Ray, he's still sitting in jail because he can't post a $500 bond, but they gonna let them go with 0 bond because they think that is unfair. So, just thought I'd let y'all know what's going on behind closed doors. And this law, sorry to say, is pushed by Nancy Pelosi and friends. So, you can go look it up. Yeah, so they sticking them in our communities. I told y'all a long time ago, They're going to replace the black vote with the legal alien vote. New York just now start giving out driver's license. The only thing, because I've seen the new New York driver's license. And if you are undocumented or legal alien, you can now get a New York driver's license. The only thing is it doesn't come with the federal star at the top of the new license. So if you have received any new identification within the last 2 to 3 years, it now has the star at the top. That means that you are in the federal database. That means that you can fly and you can get on trains. The thing is, they don't have the star, so they can't get on a plane. But they can rent a car and move throughout the country. They don't have to come back to deportation hearings because now they are going to extend the catch and release. So just thought I'd let y'all know what's going on around your neighborhoods and what Nancy Pelosi and friends are pushing. So, sorry. Great new laws. Hey, man. Steve. These are y'all. This is why I say y'all need to change up y'all voting strategy. Stop voting for people just because they look like you and because it sounds great. So, but I did see New York, though, and this is what I'm talking about. If you don't have this star on your license, you can't get on a plane. And that was courtesy of the last administration. But hey, Steve, New York got the best laws. Hey, look, you can have abortion up to the day the baby is born. Even Low Daddy lives in Maryland. They kicked it off. You can have an abortion. You can be 9 months pregnant, getting ready your water could break. You're getting ready to deliver the child, and you can say, "Hey, I don't want this baby." They abort the baby for you 9 months in. Kurt, hey. They giving out driver's license. Steve, you remember what you had to go through to get your license? Hey, And New York has a point system. They can skip the line of the point system. So, hey, man, you got to love it. California's giving them free health care. And California just went up on their state taxes. So the people that go to work every day can pay for the free health care. Just thought I'd let y'all know. Just thought I'd put y'all up on game on what's going on. Now, you can't come to Atlanta, okay? Because we overcrowded. You can come to Georgia, but you're going to have to go to Clayton County or somewhere because the city, we already overcrowded, okay? We trying to get rid of some of the people that's already here, okay? We got enough people on the highway here. So if you don't like the laws, do what most people in California doing. They're moving to Texas. Texas is cutting out, taxes and all that good stuff. So, especially if you own a business, it's good for you to move to Texas. Texas is looking out for a lot of startup businesses, whether you black, white, Latino, or whatever. So, just thought I'd put y'all up on game. So, there's this movement called the Walk Away movement. And I'm pretty sure y'all have heard of the Walk Away movement. If you haven't heard of the Walk Away movement, I suggest you Google it. It's called Walk Away. It's the Walk Away movement. It's a very deep movement. and what's crazy is a lot of people are getting into the walkaway movement. And what's even funnier is a lot of blacks and Latinos are getting into the walkaway movement. Thank you for sharing, Stevie Steve. If you haven't hit the like button, do so. Make sure you share. I appreciate everybody. So, we do have the walkaway movement. If you never heard of the walkaway movement, go Google it after the show, and figure out what the walkaway movement is about. But the walkaway movement is a movement that was started where people are leaving a certain party. They're leaving the Democratic Party. And after the State of the Union, C-SPAN had like 40, 50 people back to back call saying how disgusted they were with Nancy Pelosi. So go watch the walkaway movement. They have is thousands, tens of thousands of people. They are on Facebook. They are on YouTube. He said, not funny, Big Juice. It's too crowded. She said it's too crowded, and you're going to complain and makes people like me tell you nobody made you come, go back. Right. That's why I said, if you don't like the fact that you live in a sanctuary city, please don't come to the city of Atlanta, okay? We're overcrowded already, okay? And if you do come to Georgia, start in South Paulding County and work your way south towards Florida. Start in South Paulding, South Spalding County. That's still Spalding County is still considered Metro Atlanta. Start on the south side of that, and then you can work your way back down to Macon and all the way down, because we got a lot of room in Georgia. It's just south. Go further south. But here in the city of Atlanta, we already overcrowded. And they are building houses and apartments on top of houses and apartments. And I do not want to become a sustainable, smart city, okay? Because that's definitely going to kill us. Right. So is the new... No, it's not an independent party. It's not an independent party. Nobody wants to be part of the independent party, but what's the old guy name? Bernie Sanders. And Bernie Sanders don't even want to be part of the independent party. Yeah, so you can come to Georgia, Big Juice. Just go to the Cherokee County, Covington, Augusta, Rome, Blue Ridge, Columbus, what's the little the spot over in the corner? Yeah, you can go there. But the city of Atlanta, yeah, we are already crowded in the city, and they stacking people on top of folks, right. Right, and Mama Quita's right. You can reach out and you can touch your neighbors. So it's not that we don't want you to come. It's just we have certain areas that we prefer the people live in. Right, and Gayle King and Oprah Winfrey are banned from Atlanta, so they can't come at all. They banned. They banned. So they can't even come no more, because they liars. And they hurt people, and they've been doing a lot of foolishness. So, So go check out the Walkaway movement. And yeah. So we're going to take a break. I'm going to come back. I'm going to get into our special for today, Blacks for Trump. And I'm going to introduce y'all to Mr. Beasley Gamer. That is who has been coming on the show lately. He comes in through YouTube. And I had Fred out there, and Fred tried to trip him up, but Fred got tripped himself. So we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to get right into Mr. Beasley Gamer and my fun time at the Trump rally. We'll be back.
Never change.
And go.
So my brother said he liked my swag, but I think I love his a whole lot better. You know, I'm just out here plain Jane. He got the t-shirt and the whole nine. So, tell me why.
Where can I start? Okay, you all hear the rhetoric on the news about the lowest unemployment for blacks in history, lowest unemployment for women in 60 years, it's my wife, lowest unemployment for Hispanics, Asian Americans, building a wall. First of all, you tell me something. When's the last time you saw a president campaign on something and do what he said? Let's look at Trump's campaign promises. Well, lower taxes. Lower taxes. We're going to bring the troops home. We're going to move the embassy to Jerusalem.
That's done.
We're going to build a wall. We're going to bring jobs back, which the opposition said was impossible. We've had record-breaking stocks for 3 years in a row. Consumer confidence is through the roof. We own a business. I made this shirt. Yeah, I made this shirt. So, I mean, the country has resurged in a way that's unbelievable, and I can't imagine anyone in their right mind demeaning a president who's done so much. Get in or something? People are angry. They don't understand why. They're angry because they've been conditioned by the media. They're angry because they've been conditioned by people who are hateful.
And the wars.
Finally, we have someone in the White House who's doing something for the American people. I mean, I have 5 kids. I got 18-year-old, 17-year-old. We have 3 girls. No one's ever given my children free health care. No one's ever done anything for my family, but the opposition wants to give free health care to illegal immigrants that we have to pay for. They want to decriminalize crossing the border when we can't cross the border into Mexico and
not get arrested.
We can't cross the border to Canada and not get arrested. We can't do any of these things. Every nation deserves to have sovereign borders. And I just like to have someone in the White House who's standing up for me. You know, the last president I voted for twice, and I don't ever recall him standing up for me. And I remember when Donald Trump, I thought he was a joke, man. I'm 40 years old.
Right.
I thought it was a joke. I knew I hated Hillary, but everybody hates Hillary.
Right.
She's so false. It's like a shell of a woman in pantsuit that has no soul. And when she speaks in front of the camera,
I love it.
She speaks in front of the camera, you feel it's just fake. It's nothing. She can't relate to us. We're super predators, remember?
That's right.
Free Strikes Act was against us, right? But now she's for the people. When? When Benghazi? When
she lied about Benghazi?
When she had the secret server in the mom and pop shop? When she's doing all these things that are against the law, and she wants people to vote for her. But look what happens when we get Trump. Not only is Trump doing everything he said he was going to do systematically down the line, he did it with 4 investigations on him. He had the House, the Senate investigated him. They had the FBI investigation. They had Bob Mueller, $30 million investigation. And now we got the House investigating him. But what did he do? You know, most people crumble under the pressure.
He's still
not just talk. He's accomplishing everything. In 3 years, he's done more for us than Obama did in 8. I mean, it's just, to me, as a black man, I can't imagine our people. This is a convention. This is a rally he's put together for the African American community. And, you know, I'm in an interracial marriage. This is my wife here. Come over here, baby.
Please.
We've been together for 11 years. And as a black man, I could not stand by and act like everybody else who happens to have the same melanin content as me. You know, I talk to the guys at work. I run a laboratory. I talk to the guys at work, and I'm like, what? Tell me about, why don't you like Trump? Oh, he's a racist. And I say, well, give me one example why. They can't. They say, well, he doesn't like Mexicans. Like, no, he doesn't like illegal aliens.
Right.
His wife is an immigrant. There's nothing wrong with lawfully doing things, but we used to be a nation of laws, but the laws only apply when it's the other side now. We have someone standing up for law and order who's supporting our police. I say, whenever I see an officer just in my day-to-day life, I always thank them for their service. Military, I thank them for their service. Now, we got people like AOC protesting police. Who are you going to call, AOC? The Ghostbusters by breaking your house? It's insane what these people have done. And it's insane how they've taken the mind of the American people and flipped it upside down to the point where now we believe that socialism is going to save us. I don't want to wipe my butt with a leaf. But, I mean, it seems like they do, and that's what happens in Venezuela when you're standing in line for 4 hours for a piece of bread.
It's called brainwashing.
You can't give your freedom to people.
You're fine.
It is called brainwashing.
You can't give your freedom away. You know, people have fought and died for the freedoms that we have today.
Like this man holding his camera.
Thank you for your service, sir. And I mean that genuinely. People have fought and died for what we have here today. And now we're asking people, we're begging them to take it away. Why would you ask someone to take away your right and your freedoms to protect your family? We have firearms at home. We don't run around popping caps. They're there to protect us and to protect our property.
Well, guns don't kill people.
People kill people.
You know, I mean, you have people now who are protesting the freedoms of speech. The freedom of speech doesn't just apply to the speech you like, it's for the speech you don't. And that's what America stands for to me. You know, we got a bunch of young children. My sons are 17 and 18. They know more than most 30-year-old blacks when it comes to what's happening politically in America right now. And I'm proud of that. And my daughter's 9. Our daughter's 9. She was so upset she couldn't come because she understands that Donald Trump is saving this nation. And everybody's against him. And the people who are against him are the ones who have been entrenched in the swamp for the last 30 and 40 years. Nobody talks about Nancy Pelosi's husband just quietly crept out of, he was on the board of a Ukrainian company as well.
Right.
No one's talking about it.
Nobody talks about Biden's son either.
Biden's son, Hunter Biden.
Nobody talks about the selling of
$50,000 a month.
I do have a question.
Sure.
There's so many, like the major shootings down in Florida a few years ago. The fact that they had children standing off on the stage saying no guns, no guns. My first thought is, what were the children thinking when the bullets flying? Did they want a pencil?
Let me explain something to you. Whenever you see, look, we have children. And I actually, you know, my daughter, I have a YouTube channel as well, but it's not really political one. It's about video games. That's my hobby. But when you see children who haven't lived life and who have very little experience in life being used politically, it's a travesty, and the parents should be investigated. You know, we got these green activists. I forget the young lady's name. The one who said, "How dare you?" Greta Thunberg. Greta Thunberg. She's 16 years old. She's never had a job. Yeah, you might be able to row a boat, but you don't know about the world, and you are not in a position to teach people who've been alive for 40 and 50 years about this world. I remember a film called The Inconvenient Truth by Al Gore. And it was a film. And in this film, all these tragedies are supposed to happen across the United States by 2006, 2007. Barack Obama just bought a $7 million home right on the ocean front. Does that sound like a person who believes in global warming?
No.
But what I was going to point out, too, is Pelosi. No guns, no guns. No wall. What's surrounding her home? How high is that fence? And what is surrounding her?
Guns.
Guns.
Right.
Well, it's all for them. It's like if you look at the politicians who are running for the Democratic presidency, they all have private planes. They fly private to tell you about how bad you are for driving your car.
Well,
It's preposterous. You know, we got people like, what's her name? Katie Hill? The senator from California who was just caught sleeping with her subordinates, at least one that we know of, taking pictures and doing all these crazy things, right? These are the people we're electing to tell us how to live our lives.
Right.
We are all born with common sense and a moral gauge. You can feel when something's wrong. You don't need people to tell you when it's wrong. We're all given that by God. And, you know, I think that right now, especially with the younger generation being born more conservative, is because people have had enough. You know, you send your children off to college, they come back crazy. You know, they come back, oh, Dad, oh, my goodness, Dad, are you putting water in your gas tank now because, you know, fossil fuels? I'm like, hold on, son, fossil fuels have gotten us here. Capitalism has gotten us here. Having belief in a higher power has gotten us here. If you look at people who don't like God, and you look at people who do, Stalin, Hitler, Mao, all atheists. If you don't believe in an afterlife, you can do whatever you want to right here. And it's a fundamental belief system. And also, I think it's good for children to have a foundation. And that's it for me. I'm very passionate about this man, and I've never felt this way about anybody else. I voted for Obama twice, and I saw what happened to our nation, and how diminished it was afterwards, and the policies that were pushed, and the deficit double, and I see Trump coming, and I'm thinking in the back of my mind in 2015, like, oh God, they're going to elect Hillary Clinton? We got to go through this again? I mean, she's Obama 2.0 without a soul.
Okay, let me run you something. You keep talking about being born, right?
Yeah.
How long does it take for a child to be born?
Depends on
How long does it take for a child to be born?
Instantaneous.
How long does it take for a child to develop in the womb and be
9
born?
months.
9 months.
Yeah.
So for 8 years, Obama built his 9 months in. Okay. Are you listening to me?
Yes.
Then it kept growing. Okay. So the stepfather, or the what do you call when you adopt someone? The adopted father comes in, right, and claims fame to what Obama has birthed. So all I'm doing is explaining to you. It takes time to build something. It doesn't come instantaneously, and he's taking credit for stuff that was built before he got there. So even though I'm here filming this, I can see how foolish you sound each time you say that.
No, he's fine.
Go ahead.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
So actually think about what you're saying.
Sure.
Do you understand? The 4% unemployment rate.
I agree with you.
The 4% unemployment rate had already been built in.
Okay. Well,
When you're in politics, you don't do 4 years, 8 years, 12 years. You do 20 years. This is the plan for the next 20 years.
So I'm guessing George W. Bush was responsible for the deficit being doubled since it was already in. And I guess we can go back to Adam and Eve since we don't take responsibility for things that happen under our watch.
What do you know about Adam and Eve?
I know enough about Adam and Eve, but let's
give me before we go Bible, right? Give me Proverbs 13:22.
You tell me what.
Give me Proverbs 13:22.
You pick an arbitrary
Please
thing.
stop
I'll
talking.
pick one.
Please stop talking.
No, you please stop talking.
Please stop talking.
The point is, many of us.
Give me Proverbs 13:22.
Man should leave an inheritance for his children's children. That's Proverbs 13:22.
Now give me Proverbs 13:24.
I'm not a Bible scholar.
Okay.
Sir, but I have
do not talk to me
political
about
common
Bibles.
sense.
Okay, may I?
Sure.
Can you quote 2 Timothy 3 verse 2?
I can't quote 2 Timothy 3 verse 2.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Thank you.
Wait a minute.
And that's
okay.
and this is the reason why. This is the reason why.
Guys,
This is the reason why.
You are asking me what it is.
What is it?
It starts off, man, lovers of self, lovers of their money. This is what's happening in today's society. The only comment I have to make to you is when I speak back and forth, I own how I feel. I don't point fingers. I don't say, hey, look. In Oregon, I've been told, your belief system is wrong. You're wrong. And I told her, hang on.
He called me foolish for my belief
Okay.
system, but that's not what conservatives do. Look, I believe that people are entitled to their belief system. That's their First Amendment right.
You own
That's
it.
a First Amendment right, but I don't have to go ad hominem with this gentleman here because we disagree. The point is, and he made it perfectly well. Thank you, George Washington, for America Today. It was a pleasure to meet you guys.
Enjoy.
All right.
I'm sorry.
Big Juice said, wow, Fred. Zeke 1130 on Periscope said, he said the deficit could double under Obama, so what did it do now? The deficit we have is faint. It's crazy because I understand people are very passionate about certain beliefs. My biggest thing was I respected the lady who came out and asked for a Bible verse to be quoted. Because a lot of people don't even read the Bible. Also respect Mr. Beastly Gamer for how he felt about Trump, how he felt about Obama. I respect Fred thoughts and feelings about Trump, about Obama. One thing about the WakeBake and Coffee Morning Show is I don't have a problem with neither side being heard because that is our American right. We're straight down the middle where both sides can say how they feel You can agree to disagree. That's another beautiful thing I love about the Wake Bake and Coffee Morning Show. We can agree to disagree. There was a speech given by Nancy Pelosi the other day where she described there was a momentum that was being built. The same thing Fred was saying, there was a momentum being built under the Obama administration. And that's why I tell people, don't get in your feelings when it comes to this. Come to the table with facts. Nancy Pelosi said in 8 years, Obama created 14 million jobs based on the paperwork that she sent out to the press a couple of days ago. If you go back and you follow Obama's presidency for 8 years, every month Obama came out to speak about job creation. Every month Obama came to speak out about job creation. Sorry, Steve. Every time he spoke about job creation, there was anywhere between 300,000 to almost 1 million jobs lost monthly. One of the speeches I saw of him yesterday, Mr. Obama, he was at a cadet graduation. And he stated that the month wasn't even already over, but within the first 20 some odd days of that month, America had lost 830 some odd thousand jobs. That's almost 1 million jobs lost that wasn't regained. And that is in 8 years, 14. We've seen 25 million new creations in 3 years. You can go to Money Watch. You can go to the Wall Street Journal. You can go do the fact checks for yourself. 14 and 8, 25 and 3. Okay. Nancy Pelosi also said that the stock market went up, I think it was like 5 points for the 8 years Obama was in office. It has almost went up twice as much since Trump came in, and is steady climbing based on predictions that he will win the next election. Every president inherits something from another president. Barack Obama inherited Bush's war and the fall of the economy. If you go back and you really listen and pay attention, and if you really go back and you read the laws, a lot of things Obama did for the country, he tried his best under the circumstances that we had. Now, our economy was still not as great as it was in his last 4 years because of moral reasons. Companies were being sued. Companies were being forced to do things against their own moral judgment. Companies were beginning to lose employees based on differences when it came to health care. People were being overly taxed because you couldn't afford Obamacare. So you had to pay a healthy tax on top of the taxes that you already had. If you go back and you read the legislation, or if you go back and you read the bills, a lot of things were set up for globalization. They wasn't put in place for America. They were put in place for a worldwide system. As Miss Margot says, she went back and found the original 21 agenda, which at first it was called global warming, then it was called, now it's called climate change. It was it was Agenda 21. Now it's called the 2030 agenda. The thing is, it has changed names and it has changed faces within the last 20 some odd years. The problem we have now is there's a monkey wrench that is killing the idea of globalization. There's a monkey wrench that some people will consider to be a bully. Is either you're going to take care of your house first, or we're going to overly tax you. You're going to take care of your house first before you take care of somebody else. And it's something that a lot of us grew up on, where how can you go help someone else when your house is out of order? It's another principle that I say to people is, how do you expect a nonprofit to help those that are not in a position to help themselves if the nonprofit is not bringing in finances? If I'm in a position, or saying I'm in a position to help those less than if I don't have the means or resources, how can I? When you put in place certain things that would destroy an entire industry, now you're putting millions of people out of work. This is how Rome fell. Rome developed the welfare system. People found it more profitable to live off the government than they did going to work. And the more people that relied on government assistance, the more taxes Rome had to receive. Everybody that's standing on a stage right now that is pushing to run for president has all of these ideas, but they haven't told anyone how they will be funded. They haven't explained to nobody how the money will be raised. But the first thing they will tell you is they have to go up on taxes. I've always opposed the question of, when you go to work, you have 100%. When you get paid, is at 100%. You have to pay state, federal, FICA, Medicaid, Social Security. My question becomes, do you want to come home with 80% of your pay, or do you want to come home with 30% of your pay. There's a candidate, Andrew Yang, the Yang Gang. He wants to give every American $1,000 a month. My two questions to Andrew Yang is, how are people supposed to pay rent? And what is $1,000 going to do for the American people? And are people supposed to leave a job making 3 times that a month to accept your $1,000 handout? Because this was put into practice in Alabama. They took 7 single parents, all different types of ethnicities, and they started giving them $1,000 a month. And they said that no one, before the month was up, the $1,000 was gone. So they say what they did was they brought the women in and they set them in a room and they just let them sit there for a minute just to hear what they was going to talk about. And they said that the only thing that they heard the women talk about is what they spent the money on. And what they spent the money on was clothes, hair, shoes. Nobody really talked about buying food. Nobody talked about putting this money up in savings. Nobody talked about investing this $1,000. Like, let me take this $1,000, put down on a car so I can get a means of transportation to find a job. Nobody progressed themselves. The only thing they talked about was when the $1,000 was up, how were they going to receive the next 1,000? You want Medicaid for all. But in order to achieve that, we're going to have to pay 55% in federal taxes. That doesn't include your state tax, your Medicaid, and Social Security. So now you're only going to be able to come home with about 30 to 35% of your pay. When you look at these bills and when you look at the things that people are asking us to do, it doesn't economically or morally make sense. I'm not here to tell you who to vote for. That has never been my mission. But I am here for you to see both sides. I am here for you to be able to pay attention to what's being said. Now, Fred doesn't like it when you talk bad about any black person who he considers to have power or be in power. The halls I walk through, I'm labeled as the black white guy, because I ask certain questions. Just as I asked the parent, whose responsibility is it to raise your child? Is it your responsibility or the school's responsibility? And they never wanted to own up to the fact that it's their responsibility. They wanted to tell me about what happened 40 years ago, what happened in the past. As we discussed earlier in this show, living in the past kills your future. Waiting for handouts kills your future. As I've always stated on this show from day one, why are we pressing the government to give us something that God has already given us the knowledge, the know-how, and the ability to do? I don't rely on Donald Trump. I don't rely on Keisha Bottoms. I don't rely on Brian Kemp. I don't rely on Congress, or the Senate, the House. I don't rely on them. My source comes from the Creator himself. My help comes from Jesus Christ. God said he's already given me the knowledge and the ability. He's already given me everything I need to do what it is I need to do. The thing becomes, are we doing what we need to do? Or are we going to continue to wait for somebody to do it for us? If I continue to wait for somebody to do something for me that I can do myself, it probably will never get done. If I'm hungry and if my kids are hungry, why am I going to sit in the house and wait for my wife to show up to cook dinner? Because I don't even know how her day went. When she walk in, she might be dead tired. Hell, when she walk in, she might be looking for dinner herself. So why am I going to sit and wait for someone to do for me what I can do for myself, to do for my children that I was given the authority by God to do myself? We're waiting on the government to do something for us. Why? You're waiting on man to take care of you when God has already provided. So if God has already have provided, then why are you relying on man when God is the number one source? Because we can sit here and debate politics all day. Who was the better president? Trump, Clinton, Obama, whoever. The question becomes, what are you doing? What are you doing to better yourself? What are you doing to help your situation? Oh, I'm okay, Big Juice. These are just questions that I have. What are we doing for ourselves? What am I doing for me? What am I doing to make myself better? I look at the Asian community. They don't worry about who's in office because they take care of business for them. I look at the Italian community. they don't care who's in office because they make provisions and preparations to move to take care of themselves. Why aren't we doing the same? I had someone tell me the government was our enemy. And in the same breath, he told me that he was going to the government to pass out his plan. But if that is your enemy, then why are you giving them your plan? You're pretty much giving them the blueprint on how to stop you if they are truly your enemy. I just need for y'all to really pay attention to what's being said. Really go back and look at these laws. Read. And stop relying on man, because man will fail you every time. Man will get you every time. But if you put your trust in God, if you put your trust in the Lord, you won't fail. And not half your trust, but all your trust. If you put everything that you have into God himself, if you ask him to be your president, your king, your leader, you won't worry about what's going on. Because Jesus said, come out from amongst them. Come out from the world. I'm not telling you it's going to be cakewalk. I'm not telling you it's going to be easy. But what I am telling you, it will be better. You will have more. You can sleep peacefully. So I want y'all to think about that. Why are we relying on the government to do for us what God has already done and will do more for you? So just ponder that. Allow that to sink in. Because at the end of the day, a lot of us get caught up in our feelings instead of truth. And you saw that on the video. I get a lot of that y'all don't see in my face on a daily basis. Good morning, Miss Angela. Good morning, Miss Farrakhan. I get more hate in my face from somebody's emotions and their feelings. And when you get caught up in your emotion and in your feelings, you don't want to accept truth. Because truth goes against your emotions and your feelings. Truth, as the Bible say, will set you free. And those who Christ set free are free indeed. I'll be back.
Jesus, 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 you're the lover of my soul. Yeah. mercy prepared a table for me. How can it even be? You sent your son down to save me. And no other name will I praise but yours. No other name will I praise but yours. Jesus, 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 you're the lover of my soul. Jesus, Jesus, oh Jesus, you're the lover of my soul. The lover of my soul. Whoa, I'm so in love, and there's no one else for me. Oh, I'm so in love, and there's no one else for me. Other name will I praise but yours. No other name will I praise but yours. Jesus, 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 you're the lover of my soul. Hey, you've won me over. Jesus, 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 desire of the nations. You've captured my heart. You've captured my heart. And there's no one else for me.
Yeah. Welcome back to the Wake Bake Coffee Morning Show. Bow. Yeah. You feel that Fred should have took that differently? Might be right, Big Juice. But we might be wrong too. And I find these songs, sometimes they're sent to me. Sometimes, people recommend them. Sometimes they pop up on YouTube and I see them. So, those I like, I bring on. I might have 2 more songs for the to introduce before the end of the week. I would definitely have a new song for y'all on Thursday that I think is a very, very great song, very deep song. So yeah. So that's how they come. So yeah. So there you go, man. Feelings and emotions, Big Juice, sometimes don't allow you to look at things differently. And again, as I mentioned in the beginning of the show, a lot of people still live in their past, and a lot of people are still stuck in past mindsets. And as Stevie Steve mentioned earlier, you can remember the past, but it's to help you have a better future. Or you're supposed to learn from the past. But a lot of people dwell and stay stuck in the past. So when you dwell and you stay stuck in the past, it's hard to progress, or it's hard to look at a future because you're so caught up into what happened as opposed of moving forward to birth new happenings. If that's even a word. But we can take things differently. but we have to be open for change. And if we're not open for change, then you will always remain in the past. And if you always remain in the past, then you will repeat it because that's where you want to live. But if you strive for better, if you strive for change, if you want better and you want change, accept Jesus Christ into your life, and he will bring you greatness, better change. Because once you accept Jesus Christ, they said there's a renewing of the mind, which means that you will have a new way of thinking, a new way of looking at things, a new way of progressing. And why hold on to the past? Because God said, not only did I forgive you of your sins, not only did I forgive you of your past, I forgot about it. So if God forgets about your sin, why are you still holding on to it? Why are you still dwelling, living, and digging in it? Because the more you dwell, live, and dig in your past, and you don't forgive yourself, and you don't forget it and move on, then you're bound to repeat it. And bound to repeating it kills your present, and it definitely destroys your future. So that's my time for the day. I love y'all, man. Thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure y'all hit the like button, you share, and I'll see y'all back here on Ratchet but Righteous Tuesdays. We're going to get a little ratchet. We still going to jump down this rabbit hole. It's Black History Month, so they say. And I haven't done anything for Black History because my mind is on Black future, white future, American future, Latino future, everybody's future. You know, you're welcome, Big Juice. You're welcome, Stevie Steve. I want y'all to concentrate on where you see yourself in 5 years. Let's focus on our future. And let's stay out of the past. That's why I haven't did Black history. Because what they don't tell you is it's a lot of white people who were behind the push for better blacks. So why we can't talk about America's future with blacks and whites and our Latinos and our Asians and our Italians and the Jews and the Irish. Because we're all here together. And because we're all here together, how can we make it better for everybody? So I'm looking forward to a brighter future. I don't care what happened 10 years ago. I care about where I'm going to be 5 years from now. And that's on billboards. That's on a syndicated radio show that is producing TV shows, producing more radio shows. That's where I see myself in 5 years. My wife doing public speaking all over the world, not just the country, but the world. So where do you see yourself in 5 years? Think about that. You won't be in jail, Big Juice. Don't talk that on yourself. I rebuke that in the name of Jesus. We don't talk bad on ourselves here. In 5 years, I see you being greater than where you are today, each and every one of you. 5 years, I see Lil Daddy owning his own car lot instead of selling cars for Auto Nation. I see Stevie Steve having his own delivery service. I see Stevie Steve being the biggest t-shirt printer or print shop, period, in New York City. So where do you see yourself in 5 years? Not where you was 5 years ago, because that means nothing. That's over. That's done. Forget about it. Forget the hurt. Forget the pain. Forget who broke your heart. Forget who doo-dooed on you. Forget who misused you. Forget all of that. Forgive them. Forgive yourself for falling forward. And let's move forward. What's the wife's name again? We'll talk about that tomorrow, Steve. So y'all have a wonderful, blessed day, man. I love y'all. May God be with y'all and keep y'all until I see y'all again. Gov gone.
It's time to get up and get ready.
Yeah.
For the hottest morning show in the ATL. It's the Wake, Bake, and Coffee Morning Show. Live with Georgia First Black Governor.